So I'm up at my lake house today. Checking on things. Today's day 45 of the 60-day challenge. So after the end of today, 45,000 reps. We do 1,000 reps every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. We hit all the body parts, 50 reps per body part. 3 rounds equals 900, then we pick 100 at the end, whatever one you want. So one of the big things about this workout that I've talked about is the ability, the no excuse ability of it, the no excuse route, because I'm 3 hours away from my house, but all I gotta do is throw this in the truck, and no matter where I go, as long as I'm not flying, it's right here with me. So there's really no excuse. That's why I don't say go on my program, don't go to the gym, don't buy a big weights, do anything. Just a set of dumbbells. That's all you need to be successful. No excuses, basically what it is. So we're gonna try to superset everything today, get out of here pretty quick, all the way through. I only have my 15s today. I usually use 30s for my chest, so we're gonna rip through this quick. So if you're ready, let's do it. Shoulders. Well, that was the first 300. We have 3 rounds of that. Different exercises, 3 rounds of that. Arms, shoulders, back, chest, abs, legs. You can get through it. Say I'm only using 15 pounds on all those things. But 15 pounds after you get up to 300 reps, it's pretty tough. We're going to superset the next one. Third one, we'll see what happens when we get to that point. But the main thing I want to talk to today, if we have a minute in between this, is one of the things that comes off my coaching is not just the fitness part of it, but it's the mind part. You need to, if you want to achieve anything in life, I want you to write down on a list all of the things that you hate about your life. Everything from the job you have, the body you have, the car you're driving, the house you're living in, the person you're with, the friends that you have, all those things. I want you to write on a list down, a complete list of all those things. Okay? Then after we're done with the second round, I'll tell you why. But you have to know exactly what you do not want in your life. So take that list, think about it. If you don't have a pen, think of it mentally. All the things that you hate about your life, things that you wish you could change. All those things. From the minute little things to the big things. Because we need to know what we hate before we can go towards what we want. Once we know what we don't want, then it's gonna, what we're moving away from, it's gonna be a lot easier to be pulled towards the things that we do want. Grab some more water. Think about that list as we're going through the second set here. Let's get it done. You're done. Now for the terrible squats. Two rounds done. 600 reps. We did that in about 15 minutes. So if we get back to that, when you made your list, all the things in your life that you hate, look at that list. And the number one thing, did you write your name there? Did you write your name down on that list? of the things that you like in your life. Because everything on the external world comes from the internal world. Because if we don't like who we are, we're never going to like the things that are around us. So I want you to think about that. Next list that you want to make are all your dreams, all the things that you want. These are all the things that are going to be pulling you away from all those things that you don't want. Make that list, and don't be reasonable on your list. These are dreams. These are things that you want. If you had all the time, you had all the money, what are the things that you would like to do? Have all those things, from your fitness to your career, to your relationships, to your material stuff. Write it all down. Because if we don't know where we're going, how the heck are we ever going to get there? You've got to know where you want to go in life. And more importantly, you need to know what you don't want so we can move away from it and move over here. If we don't have these things over here that we don't want, we don't think about that, there's not going to be any power behind it to get to that next thing. Okay? So if you're with me, on a piece of paper or in your mind, think about all those things in your life that you want. You could have everything. And the next step, we're done here, is probably, I think, one of the most critical things to achieving success. We're going to break in between each one of these sets. Okay, so at this point, you have your list of the things that you don't want. You have the list of the things that you do want. And the third step that I think is the most important, that will give all of your power to get there, is you need to take that list of those things that you don't want, and I want you to envision that that's your life. That's as far as you're going to make it. I want you to feel the pain of regret. That is your life. From now to the time you die, if you take no actions, this is your reality. Feel that pain, that sadness, that hurt, that depression. Really feel it inside. Close your eyes and really think about it. Because that is going to be the energy that is going to take us from that situation right there to what we want. So I don't ever want you to think about how bad that makes you feel. And use it. And at first, it's going to be very tough. But as you start to make progress, a lot of people aren't inspired and don't build the discipline based on where they want to go. They have to build it based upon where they don't want to go. So there's two different things. I mean, some people can just say, I want to go there, and that's my motivation, my discipline to get there. Other people, this has too strong of a hold on them, so they have to use that energy all the time and say, if I don't work here, I'm going to stay in this mud and this muck and this crap all of my life, and I don't want that. So I'm going to build a discipline so I can stay away from this, or I'm going to build a discipline so I can get to this. Either way, you still have to build a discipline for each direction. So think about it. If the goal out here isn't as powerful and pulling you as you want, use this situation over here to push you to that goal. So that over here, it can pull it to you. So have that anger, that hate. I mean, you could just get a red hot hate for this over here. And you get that burning desire to be over here on this thing. I'm telling you, these are the keys right here to achieving your goals. Most people will tell you, forget about this, don't worry about it. You have to have that pain where you're not going to have the pressure that's going to push you over here. We don't make, as men specifically, we don't make changes until we feel pain. We know that you shouldn't, ride your motorcycle on the road at 120 miles an hour, but everybody keeps doing it until they crash and burn. You know, they know they shouldn't drink every single day of the week, but they do it until they get a bad diagnosis at the doctors, and then they quit. Same thing with eating, with your heart, with all that stuff. It's like people will just disregard this over here until something bad happens. So think about those things, heart attacks, think about crashes, think about all that stuff before it happens. I know 15 pounds doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're up there around 800 reps and doing 50 reps at a time, by the time you hit 40, your body is freaking screaming. When I hit 40, you're at 45, you want to quit so bad. That's when that discipline has to kick in. I wanted to quit through multiple ones of these, but I won't allow it. So you have your first two steps there. The list, that, next one. Take each individual goal that you have, and we need to break those things down. And you'll get this in my program. We'll talk about this weekly. You can achieve anything you want in life. Any damn thing that you want in life, if you follow the system, take each of those goals, separate them out, and then underneath it, break down all the objectives. Like, to get fit, I want to get fit, that's my goal. Well, what are the things that has to happen? I gotta go out and buy the weights. I gotta prioritize my time. Maybe I have to prioritize what I eat, what I don't eat. All these things, okay? Once you get all of those things, those major things that need to happen to reach that goal, then underneath each one of those, we're gonna write tasks. Weekly tasks, daily tasks that we have to accomplish. So, let's say the first one is buy the dumbbells, okay? That's one of them. Then we have to go. Maybe we want to do some research. We're going to go to the sports store. We got to do this, this, and this. That'd be an easy one right there. But whenever it comes to the diet or what we eat, underneath that, tasks. Do one thing you want to do. I do this every day with all my meals. Every single day, I write down. I keep it right in the kitchen, or with me if I'm going somewhere. I write down every single thing in the day that I ingest or drink. See the calorie count. I don't drink anything that, and one thing you want to avoid is any type of a beverage that you drink that has calories in it, for the most part. Don't drink your calories, eat your calories. But if you start writing things down on a daily basis, write it down as soon as you eat it. That modification right there, that's why I always say, no crazy diets, just self-awareness. Be aware, when you have to actually write it down, you're like, Big Mac, fries, Coke, you're like, ugh, that just messed up my entire day. You don't want that crap on your list. Then when you start writing good things down, you'll be surprised at how your life will change, and your weight, your fat, all those things will change once you start becoming self-aware. Because people like to just fly by the wind, by the seat of their pants when it comes to eating. Stop at a rest area, stop at a gas station. Every time you go somewhere, you're like, snack here, snack there, snack here, snack there. Go past the pantry. I'm only going to eat 3 chips. But if you eat 3 chips 10 times a day, that's a lot of calories. Okay? So write down every single thing that you eat. Even write down the condiments you put on it. If I had steak and said I used A1 or ketchup or whatever, with ketchup. Like that. Spices, I'm not worried about that. But write those things down, because maybe you even have some type of like a digestive problem, especially getting older. You're like, man, I've always had stomach cramps and gas and my stuff. Like, start writing things down. You may be able to solve that problem in your life as well. You're like, man, I didn't know that. To me, I didn't know bananas. Bananas make my stomach, bananas, grapes, apples, the sugar or whatever it is in there, it gives me automatic stomach cramping, diarrhea, and all that stuff. Never even thought about that until I started writing it down and then seeing how it makes me feel afterwards. So you may be eating something that's making you feel like crap and you're not even realizing it. When you become self-aware, then you gotta eliminate those things. That's why on my diet, I don't tell you a specific diet. We do the elimination diet. We become completely self-aware of what we're putting in our bodies every day. Talking a little too much on that. Yeah. I just want to see you be successful. And these are the things that work for me. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just telling you, maybe this won't work for you. Nothing works if you don't work. I'll give you an example of one of mine. My ultimate goal, my dream is freedom. Just freedom. That's the dream. Just free from everything. The next one, how am I ever gonna live my dream? What's my main goal? Well, my main goal is to be able to travel the United States and the world, especially the United States, with a trailer, and be able to, my wife and I both work online, and being able to travel around and see and experience the country. So that's my goal. Then I have to break that goal down into objectives. First thing, I need a trailer. Second thing, I need to sell my house. Third thing, I need to get her an online job because now she teaches in a classroom. Okay, those are like my three main things I need to do. Well, the first one, the trailer. We went to the Hershey trailer show in August, which was the biggest in the world. Guess what? We bought a trailer. It's in our driveway right now. This one, so the tasks underneath that one would have been go to the show, do the financing, do all those things. Done. The house, got to sell the house. Well, underneath there, I got to find a realtor. I got to be able to do the repairs that I need. I got to be able to list it. I got to do all these things. Well, the realtor's coming next Wednesday to look at the house to give us an idea of all the things we need to fix to be able to sell it to get the maximum amount. The third, find my wife an online job. Every day I'm looking online at all the different virtual schools. She teaches kindergarten to find her a job. So, every day I search the web, have her resume ready, have a cover letter ready, all the way down. So we got the dream, the goal, the objectives, and the tasks underneath to be able to reach that. You can't just let it swing wide open. And as you go, obviously some of your goals are going to change, but you may have multiple goals. So you have that goal of underneath freedom, the goal of travel, then you may have the fitness goal, you may have a relationship goal, break those down to objectives, like I said, and then list all the tasks. And then put them in your book, all the tasks that you need to accomplish today to reach those objectives, to make the goal a success, to live your dream. And then part of my coaching program, I help you through all of these types of things. Not just because it's not just about fitness, it's about the lifestyle. It's about how do we go towards the fitness lifestyle, the career lifestyle, and the relationship lifestyle. All those things have to adjust, and they all have to adjust up here. We have to know what we want before we get there in all those areas. And I can help you define that dream, define all the goals that will help you live that dream, and define all the objectives and tasks on every one of these categories. You may have 10 goals. We can start working on those daily tasks to get there in a book. Or not. And if you're watching right now and you want a copy of that, I have a whole plan for free. Just email me at drdrmichaelbaptiste@gmail.com. Email me, and as soon as I'm done with this, I'll send that over to you for nothing. I'm not selling anything. So if you want a copy of that, where I break it all down into sections that you can use it, print it out for each one of your goals, and we'll break it down. Examples of exactly what to do to achieve your goal. It's worked for me, and people will say, "You're the luckiest son of a bitch I know. Everything seems to work out for you." Well, of course it does, because I planned for it to work out. Like, the fuck, what do you think? These people are planning to fail. I'm planning to win. One of the biggest things as a coach, when you're inside, it's accountability. So I say to myself, I don't have a coach. How can I hold myself accountable? Well, I don't know. Maybe getting up at, I get up at 5 o'clock. Maybe working out at 7 o'clock every morning and putting it live on YouTube. And don't give a shit if anybody's watching it or doing it. But for 9 weeks now, this is the longest accountability streak that I have had in consistency with working out, because I've always relied on myself. So I said, how am I going to make myself accountable? Well, if you go back, I've not missed one single day in all those 45 days at 7 o'clock. It's accountability. And that's what, if you need that accountability, which I think that is the main thing that's missing in everybody's lives, is that person that's holding them accountable. It's like a coach on a football team. If you look back at the teachers and the coaches that you hated the most in your life, they're probably the ones that were hard on you and held you accountable. Everybody's favorite teacher in the school was always the one that said, do whatever the hell you want, goof around, whatever. Oh, he's my favorite, Mr. Johnson's my favorite teacher. Oh, Mrs. Jones down there, she's a bitch. Well, why? She makes me right, she doesn't take excuses for late, and I have a life, and I have sports, and I have this, but she doesn't take any of this. Later on in life, you're like, you know what, I learned more from Mrs. Jones than I did from Mr. Johnson. That's what it is. And that's why, if you lack that ability to do it yourself, hire yourself a coach. Any coach out there to help you. And most coaches in the fitness space only know about fitness. I've been a professor I've been a business owner for 25 years. I have 3 kids, lawyer, medical field, and going in the vet. I've raised successful kids, pushed this philosophy onto them that they're using now in their lives, and everything, their friends say the same thing. Oh, it must be lucky. You're so lucky. Everything seems to work out for you. Yeah, my son's a lawyer up in Alaska right now. My middle son's in medical school. My daughter's a year away from going to vet school. They're all going to make a shit ton of money. My son just got his bar exam, just now has a job, makes more money than me in his first freaking job at 26 years old. Good for him, right? My parents didn't teach me this philosophy, or I'd have been in the same position. If nothing else, to help you use that philosophy, email me, Dr. Michael Baptiste, drmichaelbaptiste@gmail.com. I'll send that to you. And if nothing else, share it with your kids. Because I've found out in life that your kids will listen to about that much of what you say, but they react to about this much of what you do. So if you live these types of things, they really have no other option than to live them themselves. I mean, how many parents or people you see, they say, do what I say, not what I do. You know, they're smoking, they're telling their kids, don't you ever smoke. How about just don't smoke? Set that example. Same thing with drinking, same thing with obesity, those things, you know. You don't get fat by mistake. You get fat by what you eat and then your lack of movement. So, like I said, email me. You know, all you have to do is email me your name. You don't even have to email me your name. I don't even, just email me and say, send me the goal setting workshop, and I'll send it to you for free. You get nothing else. There's no, like you say, I'm not saving email addresses or any of that stuff. I don't know any other way to get it to you besides that. Last one, legs. This will be 900. I split this 2 ways. 25. $900. So it's end of 3 rounds. Now you pick 100. I usually, this whole week, I've been doing chest. Instead of doing 2 sets of 50, I just pump out 100 in a row. So overall, what did we talk about today? We talked about all the things in your life you don't want, all the things in your life that you do want, recognizing on that first list, you got to be on it, and using that hate, that pain, that anger is leverage to push away, to get to the place where, to get pulled to where we want to go. Then once we define that, then we define our goals for each one of those things, the objectives, the tasks, to reach that. And one thing, especially whenever it's fitness here, well, let's say once you start reaching these goals, make sure you celebrate it. But there are some people that you don't want to celebrate things with. Because like I said, to your face, oh, I'm so happy for you. As soon as they turn around, I hate that son of a bitch. Man, I'd do anything to undercut him because he's making me look bad. There's so much hate and jealousy. So if you're improving yourself, don't think all the people around you are going to jump all up and down because you're doing so well. It's a sad, sad world that we live in that. So whenever I say eliminating foods, poisonous, nasty foods from your diet, you also want to eliminate the poisonous, nasty people from your life, because they are the ones that are impacting your mind. The food is impacting your body, but the negativity around you is what's impacting your mind, and once your mind is all effed up, then it leads to giving up on everything else in your life. Because people would rather tear you down than to see you build your building higher than them. Let's get this last 100 reps. Pick any body part you want. Well, that's 1,000. We did it today, 1,000. And I just wanted to say how much I appreciate all of you being here. Comments, good, bad, ugly, whatever. It all inspires me. It keeps me accountable every single morning. So I appreciate you showing up, watching, hopefully working out along with me, trying to get a little healthier lifestyle. Because as Michael Landon said, and one of my favorite quotes is, every day could be our last day. So live it the best you can today. Take care, guys. Blink your left eye. It's water, Dyke. I appreciate you guys.